Working to strengthen democracy and develop country, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina tells Commonwealth Secretary General. Failing in every beat, BNP tried to create anarchy, capitalizing movement of school children, comments Mohammed Nasim. BNP speak of dialogue but want conflict in true sense, says Obaidul Qadir. Price of hides of sacrificial animals fixed. Salted cow hide 45 to 50 taka per square foot in Dhaka, 35 to 40 taka outside. Government to bear treatment costs of journalists injured during students' safe road movement, reveals Information Minister. At least 43, mostly children, killed in Saudi-led air attacks on Yemen. And Bangladesh outclassed Pakistan 14 goals to nil in SAF Under-15 women's football in Bhutan. Prime Minister congratulates young stars. Assalamu alaikum. This is News at 10 on BTV, BTV World and BTV Chattogram Center. I am Shahid Hassan, welcoming you all.
And I am Imtiaz Ahmed Siddiqui. You just heard the headlines. Moving on to the details of those and other stories. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has said her government has been working to further strengthen democracy and speed up development to advance the country. The Prime Minister said this when visiting Commonwealth Secretary General R.T. Hon Patricia Scotland called on her at her office in Dhaka today. After the meeting, Prime Minister's Press Secretary Sarul Karim briefed the newsman. Sheikh Hasina said over 6,000 polls were held in different tiers of local government bodies including city corporation, municipality and union council in the country since 2009, and those were free and fair. About development efforts, the Prime Minister said the government is encouraging young entrepreneurs, both male and female, for achieving desired development, while it has also started the process of women empowerment from the very grassroots level. On Rohingya issue, Sheikh Hasina said her government is discussing the issue with Myanmar Authority. Pointing out the issue of terrorism, the Prime Minister said her government successfully contained such social menaces and created a social movement against terrorism involving people from all walks of life. In reply, the Commonwealth Secretary General highly appreciated the role of the government of Sheikh Hasina for containing terrorism with iron hand. Patricia Scotland said the Commonwealth is ready to extend cooperation in upholding Bangladesh's democratic process. In reply, the Prime Minister said Bangladesh's boys and girls both are doing well in sports and games, as her government has been promoting all kinds of sports, not only cricket. Patricia Scotland presented a Commonwealth Charter to the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has given financial assistance of 10 lakh taka to the family of a late Jubo League leader in Jaipur Hat who was brutally killed by the BNP Jamaat terrorists in 2013. The Prime Minister handed over a cheque for the amount to slain Tawhidul Islam Shobuj's father, Mohammad Afzal Hussain, at her office in the capital today. BNP Jamaat terrorists, equipped with pistols, knives and other lethal weapons, attacked the house of Afzal Hussain, the Vice President of Matrai Union Awami League under Kalai Upazila in Jaipur Hat district in the broad daylight on April 7, 2013. They vandalized and torched the house and dragged Afzal's son Shobuj, who was the organizing secretary of the Union Jubo League, out of the house and killed him after beating and cutting tendons of his legs. The Prime Minister also handed over a cheque for 20 lakh taka as financial assistance to former national footballer Jalaluddin Mullah to meet his treatment costs. She also donated 20 lakh taka as financial assistance to Sabrina Khatun, wife of late Upazila Nibhai officer Ramizur Rahman Mullah, to meet education expenses of their children. Besides, Sheikh Hasina gave financial help of 10 lakh taka each to Farzana Yasmin Mary, wife of Bangladesh Civil Service cadre member late Nazrul Islam, and Sultana Ara Begum, wife of late freedom fighter Amir Hussain, to maintain their family expenses. 14-party spokesperson and Health Minister Mohammad Naseem has said that BNP Jamaat had tried to create anarchy in the country using the non-violent program of innocent students. He said this while briefing the newsmen at Workers' Party office in the capital today following a meeting of 14-party alliance. Politburo member of Bangladesh Workers' Party Anisur Rahman Mullik chaired the meeting. Mohammad Naseem said no one will be spared in implementing traffic laws as part of ensuring safety of roads. He said BNP Jamaat is trying to catch fish in muddy water, failing to attract people in their so-called movement.
The government has fixed the prices of raw cowhide at 45 to 50 taka per square foot for the capital, while at 35 to 40 taka outside Dhaka, ahead of Eid al-Azha, which is likely to be celebrated on August 22 next. The decision came from a meeting held at the Commerce Ministry with Commerce Minister Tofail Ahmed in the chair. Besides, the prices of goat skins have been fixed at 18 to 20 taka per square foot across the country, while that of she-goat at 13 to 15 taka. Tofail Ahmed said there is no chance of smuggling of raw hide. He also said prices of the necessary commodities will not see any hike during Eid. BNP doesn't want dialogue, rather it wants resort violence. Obaidul Qadir made this comment while addressing discussion marking the 43rd martyrdom anniversary of Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, at the Secretariat today. Secretariat Officer Employee Oikya Porishad organized the discussion with its President Bodrul Haidar in the chair. Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs Minister Anisul Haq and State Minister for Technical and Madrasa Education Qazi Kiramat Ali attended the discussion among others. Obaidul Qadir said, if we don't remember Bangabandhu, we will demean ourselves an ungrateful nation. Finance Minister Abul Mal Abdul Mohid has underscored the need for accelerating the financial inclusion activities to reach the banking services to the doorsteps of the grassroots people. He said this while speaking at a workshop on National Financial Inclusion Strategy (NFIS) at a city hotel today. Bangladesh Bank and Financial Institution Division of Finance Ministry jointly organized the workshop. Among others, State Minister for Finance and Planning M. Mannan, Chief Coordinator for SDG Affairs in the Prime Minister's Office M. Abul Kalam Azad, Senior Secretary of the Financial Institutions Division M. Yunusur Rahman, and Bangladesh Bank Governor Fazl Kabir were present at the function. Information Minister Hassanul Haq Inu has said that government will bear treatment costs of the injured journalists who were attacked by miscreants during the Safe Road movement. He said this while exchanging views with the leaders of BFUJ and DUJ at the Secretariat today. Prime Minister's Information Advisor Iqbal Subhan Chaudhry, State Minister for Information Tarana Halim, Information Secretary Abdul Malik, BFUJ President Mullah Jalal, Secretary General Shaban Mahmood, DUJ President Abu Zafar Shurjo and General Secretary Shuhail Haidar Chaudhry, among others, were present on the occasion. Hassanul Haq Inu said all who attacked on the duty journalist will be punished. He assured journalist leaders that proper security will be ensured, thus such kind of attack do not occur again. Tarana Halim said no culprit involved in the attack will be spared.
And now news from around the world. Dozens of people, many of them school children, have been killed or wounded in a Saudi-led coalition airstrike in rebel-held northern Yemen. The bus was traveling through Dahyan market in Sada province at the time. The health ministry run by the rebel Houthi movement said 43 people were killed and 61 wounded. The Red Crescent said most of the victims were under the age of 10. The coalition, which is backing Yemen's government in a war with the Houthis, said its actions were legitimate. The coalition has insisted it never deliberately targets civilians, but human rights groups have accused it of bombing markets, schools, hospitals and residential areas over the past 3 years. The death toll from a magnitude 6.9 earthquake on the Indonesian island of Lombok on Sunday had risen to 259. The region has been hit by more than 350 aftershocks, and worst of which struck today. The latest tremor had a magnitude of 5.9 or 6.2 according to monitors. It brought down some buildings. Officials said of the latest death toll, this number will continue increasing as rescue teams continue to find victims under collapsed buildings. The government says more than 1,400 people were injured and more than 270,000 displaced. The Colombian government has formally recognized Palestine as a sovereign state in a new diplomatic blow for the regime in Israel. According to a letter from the Colombian Foreign Ministry made public yesterday, the government of former President Juan Manuel Santos had recognized the Palestinian state days before being replaced by Ivan Duque. Duque's administration said it would review Santos's decision on Palestine, but acknowledged that it was legal. Meanwhile, the Palestinian embassy in Bogota praised Colombia's move. The decision makes Colombia the last South American country to recognize the state of Palestine.
Commonwealth Secretary-General Patricia Scotland exchanged views with Commerce Minister Tufail Ahmed at the Secretariat today. During the meeting, they discussed various issues, especially trade and commerce among the Commonwealth countries. The Commerce Minister proposed to form Commonwealth Business Forum and signed FTA for increasing trade among the Commonwealth countries. The Commonwealth Secretary-General praised Bangladesh for remarkable development in various sectors. Health and Family Welfare Minister Mohammed Naseem has asked Commonwealth countries to help Bangladesh strengthen emergency medical services in government hospitals. He sought active cooperation of Commonwealth Secretary-General in this regard. Mohammed Naseem made the call when Commonwealth Secretary-General Patricia Scotland called on him at the Secretariat today. The Health Minister urged the Commonwealth Secretary-General to increase pressure on Myanmar to take the Rohingyas who fled to Bangladesh fearing persecution back to their homeland quickly. The Commonwealth Secretary-General said the world community is full of praise for Bangladesh for providing shelter, food and Medicare for the Rohingya in the shortest time. Health Services Division Secretary Muhammad Sirajul Haq Khan, Health, Education and Family Welfare Division Secretary G.M. Salauddin and high officials of the ministry were present. Leader of the opposition in the Parliament, Roshan Ershad, has asked Commonwealth to play effective role for ensuring Rohingya repatriation. She made the call when Commonwealth Secretary-General Patricia Scotland made a courtesy call on her at the Parliament office today. Roshan Ershad said Jatiya Party is ready to take part in the next general election. Commonwealth Secretary-General said they are trying to find ways to solve Rohingya crisis. She also praised Bangladesh for providing shelter of huge number of Rohingya people.
State Minister for Labour and Employment M. Mujibul Haq has urged apparel factory owners to pay bonus of workers by August 16. He also urged the owners to pay partial salary of the current month by August 19 of this month for celebrating Eid al-Adha. The State Minister made the call while addressing the 37th meeting of the Crisis Management Core Committee at the Ministry's conference room today. Labour and Employment Secretary Afroza Khan, Additional Secretary of the Commerce Ministry Tapan Kanti Ghosh, BGMEA Vice President SM Abdul Mannan Kochi, BKMEA Vice President Mustafa Zaman Pasha, Garments Workers United Federation President Roy Ramesh Chandru, Garments Shromik Kormachari League President Lima Firdaus and Bangladesh Jatiyo Garment Shromik Kormachari League President Sirajul Islam Roni were also present. Mujibul Haq said there is no problem regarding the payment of salary and bonus in the factories run under compliance, but it can be a problem for a few small factories. The Asian Development Bank ADB and the government of Bangladesh today signed a loan agreement for $225 million for overhauling secondary education and boosting education quality, access and relevance in the country. The instance is the third and final tranche of the $500 million Secondary Education Sector Investment Program SESIP approved by the ADB in 2013. Economic Relations Division ERD Secretary Qazi Shafiqul Azam and ADB Country Director Manmohan Prakash signed the agreement on behalf of Bangladesh and ADB, respectively, at a ceremony in the capital today. The $225 million ADB instance will develop a competency-based curriculum, improve teaching, especially in science, math, English and Bangla, promote the use of ICT in teaching, strengthen classroom assessment, reform national examination and pilot pre-vocational and vocational subjects in secondary schools and madrasas. It will also support commencement of harmonized stipend program, introduce resource teacher program, strengthen decentralized educational management and operationalize e-procurement in educational entities. And now sports news. Bangladesh under-15 women football team outclassed Pakistan by 14 goals to nil in the SAF under-15 football championship in Bhutan today. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina congratulated women football team for the big victory against Pakistan. Shamsun Nahar Jr. scored 4 goals, while Tahura Khatun, Sajida Khatun and Anai Maguni scored 2 goals each for Bangladesh at Chanlimithan Stadium. Besides, Monica Chakma, Shamsun Nahar, Aki Khatun and Maria Manda scored 1 goal each for Bangladesh. Meanwhile, India beat Sri Lanka by 12 goals to nil in the inaugural match. Bangladesh will face Nepal in their second match of Group B on 13th August. To end the bulletin, headlines once again. Government working to strengthen democracy and develop country, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina tells Commonwealth Secretary General. Failing in every bit, BNP tried to create anarchy capitalizing movement of school children, comments Mohammad Naseem. BNP speak of dialogue but want conflict in true sense, says Obaidul Qadir. Price of hides of sacrificial animals fixed. Salted cow hide 45 to 50 taka per square foot in Dhaka, 35 to 40 outside. Government to bear treatment costs of journalists endured during Student Safe Road movement, reveals Information Minister. At least 43, mostly children, killed in Saudi-led air strike on Yemen. And Bangladesh outclassed Pakistan 14 goals to nil in SAF under-15 women's football.